Okay, so how do we factor this? Well, it's not three terms, so it's not going to be the AC quadratic thing. It is two terms, so we're thinking difference of squares, but it's not a difference. Nor do I know the square root of v cubed. I mean, I know the square root of 64 is 8, but that doesn't square root real nicely. So we learned a new factoring technique called sum or difference of two cubes, or sum or difference of cubes. All right, so what happens is, if you can write both terms not as something square, but as something cubed, which in this case we can, then we can use our bar of soap. It seems like it's coming out of left field, even for me. Okay, so here's how it goes. Doesn't matter if it's a sum of cubes, which it is this case, or if it's a difference of cubes. You start the same way. You say, all right, well, I'm going to write down the things that are being cubed right here. Then I'm going to write them down again, but square them. This is just the formula. You just have to memorize it. And then in the middle here, I'm going to just multiply them together. Okay, now the question is, what goes there, there, and there for signs? This is where the soap comes in. The first sign is the same, S for same. The same is what you had to begin with. So plus. The next sign is opposite of that, of whatever you started with. And the last sign is always positive. And if you go y1, y2, which you really should be doing every time, check it on your calculator, you'll find, yep, they match up. How about that? Okay, one more. This time there's a subtraction there, and I'm thinking, all right, I mean, usually when I see two terms with subtraction in the middle, I'm thinking difference of squares, but I don't know the square root of that, or that, or that. But I do know, I do see a cube, so I'm thinking maybe difference of cubes. So 5 to the third power is going to be 125. And 2 to the third power is 8. So 2u, all of that to the third. Okay, so I can write this as the difference of two things being cubed. All right, so then we get the things that are being cubed. Then we get them again, but squared. And I have to square the entire 2u, not just the u, so I need those extra parentheses. Then I multiply those two guys together. And now it's time for signs. And the soap says, first sign is the same as what you started with. Then the opposite of that, then always positive. And then, and writing this answer out on Alex, you would rewrite that term there as 4u squared, just dropping those parentheses, and write that as a 25, and write that as a 10u, and so on. I guess I could just write the whole thing out, huh? And it would look like that. Well, that's messy. Sorry about that. Okay. Anyway, that's all you do on these. It's very repetitive.